Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. Thank you, guys. Electronic Beats. And it's great that me and you are having this conversation, as short as it is. Kind of talking about the place where we once belonged to. And you were the northern part, I was the southern part, so a little bit rough around the edges. So yeah, I mean it's a great kind of trajectory or a story where we come from and then the influences that we had when we were teenagers in ex-Yugoslavia, the way that not many people understand where we come from, basically.
I almost feel like, and I say that often, it's like, and I think it's like the same for other places, but it's very hard to understand if you're not from in it. And I think Yugoslavia and the scene in it, especially culture and art and music, was so specific in it that if you didn't live through it, it's so hard to explain to someone because it was like such a weirdly old machine.
You are so right. You know, a lot of people associate the term of ex-Yugoslavia or especially Kosovo with the war, and that's where the story stops. And nobody's has taken the an effort to understand a little bit more about the music, about the culture, where we come from, how has that looked like before the war, the influences that we had, the shows that we attended to, the artists that were there, they shaped us of who we are today.
Yeah.
And it's great that we're having this conversation. We had like great bands that really made a mark, not just in ex-Yugoslavia. They made a mark in European market as well. And not many people know about it. But I guess we don't have too much time to dwell on that.
Yeah, to do all.
No, but maybe at some other occasion we can have a long chat about the influences.
No, but I think it's just like, because obviously there was a big gap. Like the music scene back in the day was like so self-sufficient and it was so strong. But then as Yugoslavia kind of fell apart with it, the scene also fell apart because it became, obviously it was like a source of politics and religion and all of that. And it was like that was a big influx of like the Western culture also coming in and like other countries around it. So I feel like there was a big gap maybe of like 10, 20 years. There was bands and musicians coming out of it, but not festivals like that, And then through the years, through many festivals, through a lot of exits, through a lot of like similars, and now your festival as well, it kind of got its legs again. So I kind of, let's just go towards the festival because you've been doing it now for like how many years?
Well, we started our first 1 day edition or 2 day edition because I tried to do like multi-city, one in Pristina, one in Tirana. The first year in 2016, it was kind of organized in that way, but it proven to be very difficult on a production side. So from 2017, we started to do a 3 day festival back in Pristina only.
How did you even start? Let's just go there.
Well,
And I'm not thinking of like, why did you start? But I'm all like,
how?
how do you even make a festival in Kosovo?
Well, there's a funny story behind it actually. When we decided to have a 3 day festival, luckily I have some nice connections at a lot of big promoting companies like Live Nation, for example. So I went and asked them like, listen, I need some to pick your brain a little bit and a little bit of a know-how, on the festival side. Even though I used to work for a company called Mean Fiddler back in the day that organized the Reading Festival and then, Finsbury Park and Flat and quite a few of them. So I had a little bit of a knowledge like of how to do it, but having done it in Pristina, it was
Doing it in Kosovo, it's a little bit different.
so Live Nation sends like a promoter from a production manager from Hungary, one from Greece, and one from Poland, I believe. After 3 days in Kosovo, they go back, and I receive a letter from John Reed, like a huge email of why not to do it. So, and as we were talking before, people from Balkans, it's very hard to take no for an answer. So I said, like, thank you so much, but we are going ahead with it. So, that's how it started. it's it's hard to organize something where no infrastructure, you know, is in existence. A couple of months ago, we had a panel that I took part of at the ESNS, where it was Sunny Hill Festival, it was Roskilde, it was Lollapalooza in Berlin, and it was Ziget Festival. All of them major festivals, great giants of a festival with long history. And there was Sunny Hill Festival as a kind of a unique place why the festival happens. And when they were talking about the difficulties of the festival, they were kind of mentioning, like, the Munich Olympic Stadium, that it needs to they needed to take the benches off and this and that, And I was thinking, like, guys, you have running water toilets. We have to create everything. We have to create roads. We have to fence. We have to create gates. We have to, the crowd dynamics is a completely different beast in there. So it is very difficult to organize something in somewhere where nothing else happens. So
How long did it take you the first time when you started? Because I know obviously for me it's super easy to understand because I'm from there and I've been
yeah,
there, and it's like in my head it's almost impossible. Also, like, to sell it then to headliners the way you had it, it's like there was some big names that came through of it. And even for my country, when I say where I'm from, people don't know where it is. So it's even like for Kosovo or whatever it is, might be a little bit more known than mine, but there is certain stigma around it. So how do you, especially at the beginning, when you work on a festival, it doesn't have its history yet. Like, how do you get people to be like, no, it's actually going to be fine. You should come.
yeah.
Like, how do you get them to?
No, I mean, listen, as I said, you're calling it a stigma. I just call it a no information whatsoever.
Or that.
So luckily, I'm in a position where I can have a direct conversation with the managers, with the artists, with the booking agents, a lot of people that know me personally, and they know what we do. So there's an element of trust as well. And then, of course, we have in a great position. We are in a great position where, as I said, having a chat with the artists directly and their managers and close teams, and say, like, okay, this is what's happening. And then we have proven year after year after year that our production is really good. We take a lot of care on the production side, so artists are really happy. And the energy that they get from Sunny Hill Festival crowd, it's honestly, I can say it's unmatched. I go to a lot of festivals around the world, and the energy that's in there from the kids at the festival is unmatched, because they do not get to see festivals like that, every day.
Throughout the years, like, also, like, one thing is like making it, and then the other thing is also sustaining it, and sustaining it on a specific level. And I know we spoke about a little bit like all the stories that happen with it. So is there like any anecdotes you can share that happened through the years of you making this festival and going through it? What were some hurdles that you maybe had to go through that are like, now that you look back on them, you're like, wait, what just happened?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we are still a very young festival compared to the festivals that I just mentioned. We are very young, and we are. It's a learning curve, and it's a school day with every year that we organize anything. With every year that we So with every year that we organize the festival, we learn something. We get to kind of upgrade. We get to unlock a level. So yeah, we started with a much smaller scale stage. We had another small stage on the dance side. Now we have 2 day stages, two main stages. The headliners are like one of the best in Europe. We have been nominated 3 times as a best mid-sized festival in Europe. And, we do punch way above our weight when it comes to the lineup. And, we are blessed in that sense. But at the same time, we do really work hard to make that happen.
I have a bit of I don't know how to say that, complex question maybe, but like you went through, obviously you started in a punk band yourself and rock band, and then your daughter has a pop career, but then you now have a festival as well. So you exist in all these different parameters of like what music is on both on management side as a musician, also as a promoter itself. So how is it when you have like this 360 of this industry, also being from a place where you are,
Yeah.
bringing it from Kosovo to the world, you know, like how, I don't even know if the how is the right thing, but like, actually it's like, how do you do that?
No, I mean, I was very very lucky to I moved to London in 1992 as Bosnian War started. So I moved to London to be there with my friends for a couple of months, and then I was lucky to get in a place where I completely fell in love with, which was a company that organized festivals, and it was involved in music and in production and stuff like that. So I started doing marketing for that. And, you know, a very, very long story short, you know, the love for live music with a band. I was managing my band. I was doing everything for my band. You know, of course, it's a very, very small band that you know, existed back in the 90s. We had like 2 albums released, you know, in London. So I knew my way around. And luckily, I was, you know, able to create network and able to understand and learn and go through all the processes that managers do. And, you know, finding my way around, it wasn't easy, obviously, especially, you know, as you said, from the place where you come from, because the first moment is like, oh, you're not from UK, like where you from?
Also, English is not your first language. You had a different upbringing.
And then you go like, oh, I'm from Kosovo, and all of a sudden you hear that, ah, you know, like poor you, like okay, thank you, but you know, let me prove to you that it doesn't matter where you come from. If you have the right idea and if you want to do things properly, then you know nothing can stop you. So that was that, and with Dua growing, and you know, with the management company growing, then with the network growing, obviously the next step was like we want to give back something to the society. We want to give back something to the Kosovan youth, and Sunny Hill Festival was the best thing that we were involved with, that we knew how to do it. We had the connection, we had the network, and then we just had to make it happen.
We spoke before a little bit about you on nostalgia, but now kind of brings me back because we both said we keep coming back home. And I'm like, now thinking about it, I'm like, it almost would be so much easier for you to make your festival in UK or something. But then you decided to actually, it was like, no, actually, let me make it difficult and go back home.
Yeah.
And make it in Pristina, you know, and like all of it. So did it ever cross your mind of like, oh, I want to do this somewhere else as well? It was always like, no, this is the place I come from. This is where it's needed. Because like, let's be real, it's needed, you know?
No, I think I'm not a great fan of, you know, a same festival being in multiple places. You know, with the same lineup, with the same kind of thing. It just changes the name. XXX Paris, XXX Berlin, XXX Chicago, XXX whatever. You know, it's the same lineup. It's the same feeling. You lose all the charm of having a unique festival at the unique place. Trust me, it would be much easier to organize a festival in Singapore than in Pristina.
Also to get sponsors and the whole thing.
And
Yeah, that's a
of
big
course,
thing.
the brand deals are completely different. It's not seen as an equal to the other festivals just because it happens in Pristina. Of course, now we are getting like a lot of traction, and of course we have like some of the biggest names promoting the festival. So it's becoming easier, and the audience is changing. Now we have nearly over 50% of international audience that come to Pristina, which is a great thing. And now the brand partners, they are understanding that, because as you all know, without the brand partnerships, it's very, very hard to be reliant on just the ticket sales. So, you know, the costs for the lineups are getting crazier and crazier and crazier every year. And Of course, we do have the mates rates, if you like, but then the mates rates are still very high for the lineup that we have. So yeah, it's getting harder, but at the same time, it's something that comes from your heart, and then you want to give back to your country.
And you also do get, you have there's a foundation tied to it, right? And so what do you do through that? Does it go to music, or it's like, what's the
The whole, thank you for mentioning that. The whole festival is based around the foundation. So the festival is at the service of the foundation. So whatever, if we get any money from the festival, then we donated it 100% to the foundation. So this is not for, the festival is not for profit, for personal profit, but it supports the foundation. And then we do like every year we have like 4 trips for the young talent. We take them to Music Makarna in Sweden, and they come back to 1 week before the festival. So we have like young kids producing and writing sessions and intensive courses, and another similar project in LA.
One thing that I experience a lot with the younger generation when I go back home, and I've been younger, like let's say first year of university or whatever, there is a big distinct of like, because of social media, I think their perception is a little bit like, how do I say, blurred of like what the reality of it is. So it's like, it's a funny mix of like being from Slovenia or being from Croatia or whatever. But then on the other side, seeing all this like success from the US, because they just think it just happens. And I think it's the path for someone from where we come from is a little bit more difficult. So what is maybe something that you see that the festival is doing and maybe opening like a perception a little bit more of like how to operate inside of this, so the people can actually see of like, okay, how stuff works. Do you get that from it, or?
Well, if I heard you, because it's very hard, the question.
Oh yeah.
It's like, is it? Sorry, can you repeat about a bit?
My essence was more like, because of like where we come from, our success is maybe a little bit slower than like if you would come from a different city, and I think youth struggles with it a little bit.
You know what? I never connected the place or the space where I come from with my work. I completely, remove the equation of where I come from. It really doesn't matter, for me at least. It really doesn't matter where you're from.
I think it matters when you're still there. For me as well.
When you are still there, a major international success in any industry is kind of far-fetched. It's like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do something big if I come from this small place? But then I guess it's a mentality thing where, you kind of are part of the society that embraces you, that values your talent, that values your hard work. And then, when it happens, it doesn't happen instantly. You have to work hard. And then, after, there's a famous saying that like after so many years of hard work, all of a sudden I got lucky. So
after 25 years, the luck found me.
Yeah.
How do you see, like through the years of like doing the festival, how do you see public responding to it? Do you think it's like, is it getting bigger with years? Like, is it getting more international with years? Like, what is your biggest observation of like with each year that you do it? What is new every year, or what surprises you?
Well, definitely is the audience. We are growing exponentially every year. We started with 7,000 people in 2016. Then we went, double that the year later. Of course, you cannot double every time, but we are growing in numbers. Last year we had like 40,000 per night, which is like 120,000 people, visiting Kosovo, visiting Pristina. We are one of the biggest economical impacts of the city throughout the year. We have about 60% of international. It's closing to 60% international, predominantly Germany, Switzerland, UK, Scandinavia. The rest is Kosovo, Albania, Montenegro, Bosnia, a lot of people from Turkey. Funny enough, it's 1.5 hour flight, and nothing happens in Istanbul. So a lot of Turkish audience is in there as well. We pride ourselves with the growth as well as the production. The production is very, very important to us. We want, when the artists come in, they have to have like everything that they have anywhere in Europe, if not more.
Yeah.
That's something that we really take care of.
We touched upon before already about also supporting local talent and making sure that local talent is part of it, regional plus from there as well. So I would apply, like I would assume the same goes to production aspect of it.
Yeah.
So why, not maybe why, but like, no, it's actually, what do you think that these people get out of it, especially as like young musicians coming from Pristina or coming from Bosnia or whatever, after they perform in something like that? We spoke about just sometimes being mentioned next to someone, opens a lot of doors for them. So maybe what's your energy around it, and like what do you see they get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, we started our conversation about the where we come from. Yeah. And, we had our influences as teenagers. We looked up to places like Glastonbury, or as a musician, you would always dream of playing at the big stage, playing or rubbing shoulders with big artists. And this is what we provide for the local acts. We provide a stage where it's going to be very hard to organize. You need to work really, really hard in order to get to that stage, to that moment, to that position, to be able to play in there. And, we hope that we are going to inspire a lot of artists, to work harder, to produce new music, and to be able to come to the festival. And hopefully from the festival, they start their own thing. We had an artist, a Kosovan artist, that was very successful before the festival. And then, we gave him a very good slot because he was doing so well. We gave him a very good slot at the festival. After the festival, now he's doing his own tour in Europe, and, it's great to see that, inspiring young artists to do something different, to do something in a bigger scale rather than just performing in Kosovo.
I mean, it's beautiful to see, to be honest. And I told you before, it's so needed. Like, it's so needed. But yeah, any final thoughts, any questions? They're signaling me we're running through our time. So
right.
Anyone has anything?
She said, any questions?
Any questions, guys?
If a DJ is not known, are you ready to take it? If you like the music?
At the festival?
Yes.
Yes, we had many young DJs that were presented to us by an agent or their managers, or they send the music over, and then we listen to it, and we were very happy to accommodate them.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, that's basically, that is the point of sharing the space and having given the opportunities.
Hello. I wanted to ask, how is the artist management thing makes the festival bring people abroad? Do you believe it's a main thing? If you want to bring people out of your country for the festival, the main acts is the main thing that they come from, or you can bring some in another way people abroad?
I didn't hear half of that, but what I got is like, how do we get the main artists?
How do you bring people abroad?
How do you make people?
Is the main artist the main thing that brings people from other countries to the festival?
Oh,
Yes. Or there are other techniques that can bring people other.
at the festival, you mean? Yeah, well, the festival now is quite well promoted. We have a lot of promotion, and and it all happened very organically. As I said, we have been nominated 3 times in a row as a best mid-sized festival in Europe, which is very, strange, and it's voted by your peers, not the audience. And of course, you get to be known as a very unique festival at a unique place. People, apart from having seen the lineup, they want to explore the new places as well. So
It's all about the experience after all.
experience is crucial. Thank you.
What's your long-term vision?
What's the vision?
Long-term. Yeah.
A longer vision for the festival. Listen, as I said, we are growing every year. The vision is to kind of go from strength to strength every year with a festival, with a lineup. Once an agent told me, you are going to become a victim of your own success, because where do you go when you start the festival with Calvin Harris and Miley Cyrus? I said, like, shit, I don't know. We'll see when that time comes. The growth is very important, but at the same time, we want to produce the festival to the highest level. And hopefully we are going to get to the numbers where we can afford to think of maybe having another festival with the same name, but definitely not the same lineup.
Where?
I don't know.
And
I think that's a conversation that we can have in 5 years' time.
and the Eastern European part or the Eastern European market, which kind of potential do you see in it?
I think there are beautiful festivals around in Eastern Europe. Romania has like number of great festivals. Untold is there. A lot of Electric Castle is there. You have like a lot of great beautiful festivals in there. There was Exit Festival in Serbia that went for 30 years. Unfortunately, now they moved away. You have Ultra in Croatia as one of the biggest electronic festivals, in Europe. Albania is getting like a lot of traction for seaside festivals.
Yeah, it's like the new.
It's getting crazy. So yeah, I mean, Eastern Europe is a great market, for the festivals to be developed.
Thank you so much for the lovely conversation. This is kind of a funny question, but you mentioned the demographic of the foreigner at the festival, and I was a bit surprised that there are not so many Italians coming to the festival. So what can you do to make Italians come to the festival? I would love to. Thank you.
Actually, maybe that's my bad.
That time they come.
Maybe that's my bad. We do have a lot of Italians, and there was at 1 year in 2022, we did 2 editions. We did one in Pristina and one in Tirana, Albania, as a 3-day festival. And one of the headliners was Fedez. And Albanians from Albania, they are very Italian-centric. So they speak fluent Italian, like 99% of them, they do speak Italian as well. While in Kosovo is more English centric. And for Fedez, it was the maximum sales on the night. It was crazy. Italians were,
I feel like Italians are at every party.
it was the best year for Alitalia.
Thank you, guys.